So we're going to get started. Welcome to the Exploratory Undeclared New Student Meeting. So I am going to go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Brianna.
Hey everyone, my name is Brianna Calamus. I'm the Assistant Director over the Exploratory and Dual Enrolled Advising Center.
Hey everyone, my name is Marcus Mosley, and I am an Exploratory Advisor on the Statesboro campus.
And my name is Nikki Warner, and I am the Exploratory Advisor on the Armstrong campus. And Rolinda Carey is the Exploratory Advisor on the Liberty campus. She's just not here with us today. Now I'm going to have our graduate assistants introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, my name is Jada Woodfork, and I'm the graduate assistant for MACE on the Statesboro campus.
Hey everybody, my name is Brianna Wagner. I am the graduate assistant for MACE on the Armstrong campus.
Awesome, thank you guys. Okay, so a lot of you may be wondering what Advisement is going to look like this fall, how we're going to do our advising appointments. And so to ensure the safety of the staff and the students and just trying to be as mindful of, the ongoing pandemic, we are going to have our appointments for the fall semester default to virtual Zoom appointments. Now, if you would like to request an in-person appointment, those are also available on a first-come, first-served basis. We just have to be mindful of how many people are in our building. So keep that in mind, but you will be able to work with your advisor to see what's going to work best for you, okay? So advisement is required every semester. So every semester you need to meet with your advisor at least once. This is when you'll go over what classes you need for your major, maybe discuss possible majors of interest that you're thinking about. And you will also receive your registration access number or your RAN number. So what that is like your password that you need to register for classes. So I know that all incoming students have been registered for their first semester by their advisors. However, moving forward, you will actually be able to register yourself. And so that's why it's an important step for you to meet with us, or else you won't be able to register for classes. Later on in the semester, we'll walk you through whether it be in your FYE class or your advising appointment of how to actually register for classes. Does anybody have any questions about about academic advising appointments this fall? And feel free, you can unmute, you can use the chat. Don't be shy. Okay. So how are exploratory appointments set up? So like I mentioned, this is to help you plan out your courses, to assist you with registration, answer any questions you have about any majors of interest. Also monitor, how you're doing in your classes. Like, do you need some resources, or do you need a little bit of extra support? How's your GPA? Are you on track with your credit hours that you're supposed to be taking? These are all factors that we want to make sure that are being covered in the meetings. And that's why we mandate that you meet with us, because we just want to make sure everything's going well. And then we also offer major declaration and exploration appointments. So this is for students that are kind of up and coming to that 30 credit hour mark. After 30 credit hours, it's really important that you have a major in mind to declare. So if you're getting close to that point, or even if you're just a first semester student and you don't have a lot of those credits yet, it's not too early to start that process. The earlier you can declare your major, the better, and we're here to help you make that decision. So here you'll see you can use our little QR codes here if you want to see our schedules, but my schedule, Marcus's schedule, and Rolinda's schedule are all on here. We currently have a rotation right now where advisors are working half remotely and half in the office. So these schedules will tell you when we're actually in the office and when we are working remotely. Regardless, we still work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And we can always be contacted through email. It's just where we physically are may differ depending on the day. So if you want to find out your advisor's schedule, you can use those QR codes or click on the links. These are also posted outside of the buildings of your advisors. So Marcus's building is the Williams Center on the Statesboro campus. And there's a poster with all of these codes listed there. And then I'm on the Armstrong campus in the Student Success Center, and we have a poster with these QR codes there. So you can go and find out my schedule there as well. All right.
All right, so how to get assistance. Kind of like what Nikki was saying, advisors are going to be working remotely and in office. So the best way to communicate with us will be via email. You could call our office number. If you do call our office number and it's a day that an advisor is not on campus, or anytime you call your advisor, please, just make sure you leave your name, name, Eagle ID, and what you might need. All advisors, one cool thing is when you leave a message on our voicemail, we'll actually get emailed that voicemail. So if you call and leave a voicemail, we will get emailed that. But you can also email your advisors to get a little bit more information. Those are our email addresses, mine, Nikki's, and Rolanda. I actually put that in the chat as well. It might be easier for you guys to copy and paste. But if you're exploratory on the Statesboro campus, you'll go to me. For Armstrong students, you'll go to Nikki, and Liberty students will go to Rolanda, okay? Email, like I said, that is the fastest and the best way for communication. We prefer email, but you can always give us a shout as well on the phone. Another way to get assistance is to help on click. If you go to the Georgia Southern website, really almost any page at the very bottom, a live help on click will kind of pop up. You can click on that live help on click. I don't know if you guys see it on the bottom right hand corner. But basically, if you type in your question, you can actually have a live chat with someone at Georgia Southern. So depending on what's going on, you can just go on the website, type something in if you have any questions or concerns, and you'll live chat with a staff member, okay?
Alrighty, and then like we've said in the beginning a little bit, it's like a little bit about us. So we are here to basically kind of help you guys narrow down your specific interest. We're kind of here to, roll out the yes majors that you really are interested in, and then the ones that you really are not interested in, to help you guys kind of figure out what is going to be best for you and what's going to make you guys happy. So we have a lot of helpful tools on our website. So Nikki, if you want to pull the website up. So this is what the beginning of our website is going to look like. If you guys need to just explore it on your own, you'll click on the box that says Office of Advising, and then scroll down a little bit. And then it has these squares here for you to choose from as well. But if you just want to click on advising in your college, you guys might already have an idea of where you want to go. But if you don't, we're here for the exploratory students that are kind of just wanting to, narrow down their specific interest. So if you click on the exploratory box, it kind of just gives you an overview of maybe what you could be interested in. These links also not only talk about the majors, they also give you kind of pointers on what careers you could go into. Some of these areas even, talk about what you would be doing in that career, what your salary would be, and the majors that we specifically have on the campuses. And just one pointer to look at whenever you're looking at these things. Some majors are for specifically Statesboro campus, and then some majors are specifically for Armstrong. So just kind of make sure you're looking at that as you go. And I do believe we've got an online option too. That's just kind of something to think about. And then we've also got some really cool tools to use that we would give you guys. It's called you guys would take a focus, which would narrow down your ideas of interest. And this is this page on the website kind of describes each of these. And then we've got the Holland Code, which we'll talk about at the end of this meeting. And it kind of just, you kind of point out where your focuses are and where you're like better at to kind of narrow down what you think you would want to major in. And so back to the PowerPoint. The way that you schedule an appointment with one of the GAs or, you know, anyone in here, it's through Handshake. So there's the QR code if you guys want to go ahead and like get an appointment set up now, or the tiny URL. I'm sure we could probably post that in the chat as well. But it's really simple. You log in there using your Georgia Southern login, and then you just follow the ways to create an appointment. And then just make sure you specify if you're going to be on Armstrong or Statesboro campus, and then that'll link you with the correct people. It's pretty easy, and yeah, we're always here to help you guys.
Awesome, thank you. Before we go to the next slide, I clicked a little too early. We also have instructions here of how to attend our drop-in hours. So Marcus, do you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so just a couple of things. One, if you guys are having any issues with technology or anything like that, you can always make a help ticket. There's different type of help tickets. There's an Advisement one, so if you wanted to go to Advisement, you can. If you want to have a help ticket, go towards like if you're having any IT issues or anything like that. Like say if you can't get into Folio or your email for some reason, you can go to your My Georgia Southern homepage, and there is a My Help, and just click on that, and you could submit a ticket to do basically get any assistance that you want. One thing that Nikki was talking about earlier was we are going to be virtual and remote, or remote and in the office. But one thing that we're going to be having is virtual drop-ins. It's a requirement that advisors have virtual drop-ins at least 2 hours a week. So if you guys want to get in contact with your advisor and just talk to them, you could go to their virtual drop-ins. For example, for me, I have virtual drop-ins on Mondays and Tuesdays from 11:30 to 12:30. But if you just go to your My Georgia Southern homepage, you will see a link under your Advisement resources that says make an Advisement appointment. It'll bring up EAB and a new screen. That is our software to actually make Advisement appointments and stuff like that. On the right-hand side of that, it will say Get Assistance. After you press Get Assistance, all you really need to do is fill out the information that you need. So like what do you need? Like it might be help or advisement or academic concern. It will be a virtual appointment, and where you're located at with Statesboro campus. Even though the appointment would be virtual, you can put Statesboro campus so it goes to your correct advisor. The location is virtual, and then it will pop up so you can choose dates. At the bottom of it, it actually says View Drop-In. When you do that, just press on that, and it will bring up another little screen, and you can say Drop In Online. Once you press Drop In Online, it will notify your advisor that someone is waiting for them in their drop-in hours. Once I get that notification, or once an advisor gets that notification, you will get a text message and an email with our Zoom link so you can actually meet with us via Zoom, okay? And each advisor is a little bit different. Kind of going back to what Nikki was saying, each advisor on the outside of their door or the outside of the Advisement Center, there are their office hours for that week. So you can always just look on their office hours and see. If you want to pull up mine, Nikki, you can. Well, let's try Nikki's.
Here we go.
Okay, so I'll get mine fixed. But for example, that's Nikki's. She's having virtual appointments, but you can see that her drop-ins are on Fridays, on Friday afternoons. So just know when your advisor is having drop-ins, and you can really drop in at any time. You don't need to have an actual appointment. That's great for if you already had an appointment and you had any like follow-up questions or stuff like that. You can always drop into your advisor's drop-in hours.
Awesome, thank you, Marcus. And yes, advisors update their schedule weekly. So as you can see, since it's a Friday afternoon already, I've already updated mine for the next week. So this is what my schedule looks like for next week. And each advisor has one that looks like this.
And if you guys are my advisees, if you're on the Statesboro campus, my tiny URL, I'll get that fixed, but my QR code works. So if you guys have a smartphone where you can just put it up to the screen and capture that QR code, you should be able to see my schedule there, okay?
All right, so we just wanted to cover a couple things as far as communicating, mostly via email, especially since a lot of things are being done virtually right now. You may not be in an actual classroom with your professors or be able to maybe do in-person drop-in hours with your advisors. So we just wanted to cover some communication ways. So it's really important that you guys use your Georgia Southern email address when communicating with anybody at Georgia Southern. And that is also the email address that your advisors, your faculty, financial aid, anybody at the university now is going to be emailing you using that Georgia Southern email address. It's no longer going to be maybe like a personal one that you use to apply with. So make sure that you're checking that at least daily. You can also just easily like link it up to your phone so that you get those notifications as you get emails. So it's really important that you guys are checking that, especially with everything that we have going on this semester. So make sure that you read and reply to those emails in a timely manner so that we can get you the help that you need, especially since some things may be tied to certain deadlines that we need to make sure that we meet. And just as always, use professional communication and punctuation. Sometimes it can be a little confusing when we get a giant block of just run-on sentences and we have to do almost some investigating to kind of figure out what it is that you guys are needing help with. Addressing the recipient of the email. I know a lot of faculty members have their doctorates. You may not always know if your faculty member is a doctor or not. If you're not sure what to put, like always, like my default as a student was just to say like good morning or good afternoon as just a general way to address someone to open up the email. Form your message in a concise and coherent message, or form it in a concise and coherent message. Again, it's easier for us to help you if you can clearly articulate what it is that you're needing. Proofread it, check for grammar, punctuation, everything like that. And then what I would say is the most important thing is make sure that you include your full name and your Eagle ID in that email. A lot of times, even if you think you have a very unique name, we do have several students that have the same name, and we want to make sure that we're looking at the right information and that we help you in the fastest way possible. So a lot of times if you don't email someone your full name and Eagle ID, they may send you an email response back saying, hey, thanks for reaching out. Can you please send me your Eagle ID number so that I can look everything up? And that just kind of helps cut down on the amount of back and forth that may happen going through email with that. So also just to kind of highlight some important dates, August 17th through the 20th was ad drop. That has already passed. If you are wanting to get out of any classes at this point in the semester, you would be using a withdrawal. And so kind of skipping down, October 12th is the last day to withdraw without academic penalty. And so what that means is anytime between like now and October 12th, if you're wanting to withdraw from a class, you can do so. All students starting out at Georgia Southern, you have a maximum amount of 6 withdrawals. So what that means is that there are 6 times that you can withdraw from a class and it not impact your GPA negatively as long as you do it by that deadline to withdraw without academic penalty. If you withdraw from a class after, for the semester, October 12th, it'll go on your transcript as a WF. So it's going to impact your GPA exactly as it would as if you were to earn an F in a class. So that's why it's very important. If you're thinking you're wanting to withdraw, reach out to your professor, reach out to your advisor, and make sure that you keep that October 12th deadline in the back of your mind so that, again, it doesn't negatively impact your GPA. And another thing I just want to bring up about the withdrawals is that there are different kinds of withdrawals at Georgia Southern. And so we have different kinds of withdrawals if you are needing to withdraw from classes, either for military reasons, a medical withdrawal. Withdrawals cover physical ailments as well as mental health reasons for needing to withdraw from classes, and then hardship withdrawals. So if you're struggling with anything at all and you're needing to withdraw from either all of your classes or one or two of them, before you do anything, we always recommend that you reach out to your advisor so that we can make sure that you are following the steps that you need to so that it doesn't impact you in any type of negative way. So just reach out if you have any questions about anything. Going back through in order of the dates, so September, so starting in the next week or two is when advising is going to happen for the spring semester. And I know some of you may be thinking, are you serious? This is we're wrapping up the second week of class. I'm not even thinking about spring. I haven't even had my first tests on anything. A lot of advisors across Georgia Southern, we have hundreds of students that we're meeting with. And so in order to make sure that we have time to fit you in before registration opens up, we do start advising students pretty early. And again, that's just to make sure that we have enough time to see all of our students. And so just be on the lookout again to that Georgia Southern email address, because that is the email that your advisor will be using to send you the link to sign up for an advising appointment. So just a heads up, don't be shocked if that email kind of lands in your inbox in the next couple of weeks. So then September 7th, Labor Day, no classes. Yay! Everybody has a smile on their face because you have a 3-day weekend coming up. And I know I'm excited about that. October 12th, again, is that last day to withdraw without academic penalty. November 2nd is when registration begins. And you will have a certain registration day and time that opens up for you. So at Georgia Southern, there's early registration that involves certain groups of students. And then it kind of trickles down to have seniors, juniors, sophomores, and then freshmen. And so you can view your registration, your specific registration date in your Wings account through your My Georgia Southern. Also, when you meet with your advisor to talk about classes for the spring, they will have that information for you as well. November 7th is homecoming. There's not going to be any classes after that 2:15 mark. So yay, another little smile on that. Thanksgiving break. And then it really kind of wraps up quickly after Thanksgiving with the semester calendar. So December 4th is the last day of classes for the full fall semester. And then final exams are the week after that. So that's just kind of a large overview of semester dates in a nutshell for that.
Okay, so we do have a lot of campus resources on all the campuses of Georgia Southern, and specifically, like I say, Statesboro, we have the Office of Career and Professional Development, and this office basically provides you with guiding you in your career and preparing you for the workforce. And just you can go in and have mock interviews, you can get assistance with your resume, and it also helps you find like employment internships that you may need throughout college. You can get connected with multiple businesses in the Statesboro area or even beyond. And it's just a really great tool to use when trying to develop yourself career-wise. And we also have the MESA, which Brianna spoke about earlier, which is our actual department where we help you figure out like yourself, your major, your career goals, and just seeing where you want to go in life and where you're directed at. And it helps you choosing your major and choosing your path throughout college. And also we have the Academic Success Center. And this basically is where people can go to get tutored, they can get mentored and just guided throughout college and courses and just getting help with the curriculum and just going in. If you need like a tutor, you can go. And I think it's located in the library on the Statesboro campus, located in the library on like the first floor. And then we also have the counseling center, and this is basically where you can go and get like group therapy, individual counseling sessions. And I think students they're allowed to have 16 sessions per year, and it's included in your tuition, so it's free. You don't have to pay for it as long as you're a Georgia Southern student. And then also we have our bus routes. They did change due to COVID, but you can download the Passio Go app and you can see like 2 routes that take you to campus and from campus. As long as you have your mask on and you sit in the allotted seats, then you're allowed to like ride on the bus and get to and from campus. We also have our RAC, which is our Recreational Activity Center. And that basically just has like all the gym equipment, the pools, the fields, and the outdoor areas where you can go. And we have our library as well. And in the library, you can get materials like whiteboards. You can have access to study rooms, and you can go in there and have study group as long as you schedule like a session right now. And a lot of time you can go in the library and receive those materials, and they're free. You can just check it out with your Eagle ID. And then another big campus resource is the Dean of Students office. This is very essential as a student, because if you have any issues like with trying to connect with your professors or trying to get communication or any issues, you can go through the Dean of Students office. And with that, the Dean of Students also located in their office, they have, you can like file a complaint, you can appeal your grades, and if you have like a conflict with your professor, then they can reach out for you. You can be like a medium. If you can't contact your professor, you can use the Dean of Students. And also they have a Eagles to Eagles program, and this is a financial assistance where it's one student is allowed up to $1,000 per student, and they can assist you financially. You just have to fill out the form, but it's a great tool if you need like any help saying you have to graduate and you have a balance of like $600. Like, you can apply through the Eagles to Eagles, and they can help you with that and assist you. And all of these sites and resources can be found on the Georgia Southern actual website. If you just type in the search bar, and you can type in the Office of Career and Professional Development, MACE, and it can link you and take you to the site, and you can actually explore through and see like all the materials listed out and the resources that they have. And it is linked in the PowerPoint, but right now I think if we put it in the chat, or like if you view it later, you can be able to click the links as well and go to those resources.
So some helpful tips, being either a new student or just a new student in the virtual world, that's me. It is just really important to manage your time. You know, having an agenda, or even if you don't have an agenda, just writing out a weekly plan on a piece of paper. That's what I have, an agenda and a weekly plan. You have to really, you know, make sure you go to your classes, and then for every credit hour, you know, there's a certain amount of hours you should be spending on your classes in order to be successful. So just make sure you've got that planned out. You know, get it done, get it early, get it often. Get involved. It's so fun being involved in your college. It makes you feel like you know, if you don't feel like you have a purpose, you're obviously here for a reason. But if you're involved, you know, you meet people. Even if it's getting involved with people that are in your classes, you know, say hey to your neighbor. You guys can maybe end up studying together. You guys might end up being best friends. You never know. College is a really important time to grow and learn. So being involved is really cool. Getting organized is so important. I feel like when I'm unorganized, I'm a little freaked out. So just stay organized with your studies. Make sure you know you've got different notebooks for different classes, or if it's like just regular paper sheets for different classes, just make sure you have some organization so that whenever you do go to study for an exam, you know specifically, okay, this is for this class, and all of that. And then it's so important to always designate time to yourself. We are always on the go, and we are always loading our schedules up as college students. And it's kind of hard to remember to, you know, step back and take a personal day, whether it's Sunday is every day, or every week Sunday is your day to just, you know, pamper yourself, treat yourself. Whether you like get a Starbucks one day and, you know, just take care of yourself, and always check on your mental health too. I feel like I forget to do that. So just take care of yourself. It's important. And then set appropriate boundaries for yourself. So it is great to get involved, and it is awesome to be in multiple organizations, but you don't want to overdo it, because if you do, you won't be present in maybe your classes, or you won't be present in one organization that you really like. Kind of figure out where your best interests are, and, you know, maybe next year you can do another organization. Just totally figure out where your time needs to be input and where it's going to be most valuable.
All right. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Anything? I know that was a lot of information. So if any of you have a question, feel free to chat it or unmute and ask your question. Maybe questions about advising appointments, registration, resources, anything like that, advisor schedules. Okay, well, feel free to chat any questions that you do have. We are going to kind of explain a assessment that you can do while you're trying to figure out your major.
Okay, so this assessment is called the Holland Code Activity. It's one of the assessments that we use in the MACE, and it helps you just figure out some of your interests and your likes that link to some majors that you can choose. And the Holland Codes is basically, you have, it's like a system and you classify your jobs, your interests, and in the case, like, it helps with your academic majors and just putting you into categories and helping you in your exploration journey, just critiquing and like, you know, kind of just figuring out and getting down to which ones you really want to choose. And basically the first step in the Holland Code is you read over the different phrases and the descriptions that you have and you pick the best 3 that describe yourself. So we have the first one, which is R, and that basically is like, it's stable, you're active, you like mechanical things, you work with tools and objects and working outdoors. The next one we have is I, and that's like you're more intellectual, you're introverted, you like to observe, learn, analyze, and investigate things, and you like to work with your mind and solve complex things. We have A, and that's basically you're artistic, you're innovative, slightly, you could be impulsive, you like to work in unstructured situations, and you have imagination and creativity. And then we have S, and that's basically where you like to work with people, you want to inform each other, help, train, develop together, work in a good environment, and with skilled and friendly words. And then we have E, and that's basically you're extroverted, you're social, you like to be around other people, influence, lead each other, manage different organizations, and probably deal with a lot of economic gain. And then for C, we have a person that you like to work with data, figures, structured settings, and you just want to carry out details and be very specific and precise with instructions. And basically in the activity, you would pick your top 3. So at this time, like, you could take time to pick your top 3 and we can move to the next step after you go down. But for, I guess, a personal just example, I pick R, I, and A just to go through the process. And then after the second part, after you complete it and you figure out which categories best fit the 3, you would look through and you see I have R, where it's like realistic doers. You have C for conventional organizers, social helpers for S, and then you have enterprising for persuaders and investigating for thinkers and artistic for creators. And in this instance, I chose to just do R, I, and A. So you can see, like, you have civil engineering, construction engineering, computer science. Those type of majors would fit well in that category that you chose as your best fit for yourself. And then also after you see the major, you can also see, like, it'll have S or A or maybe both or online, and that's where your major is located on the campus. So for civil engineering, for a realistic doer, you have the Statesboro campus is where you would be located at to complete your major. And then for I, another example, you're a thinker, so you could do maybe a health science major, and that has A for Armstrong campus, so you have to be located on the Armstrong campus for that. But it's a good activity to just figure out what best fits you, how would you describe yourself, and it links you to some different majors that will probably show your interest and also showing you where and which campus you would go. So if you have to transfer a campus or if you can stay online or stay at your current campus.
At this time, if you are with us live, we are actually going to do this activity together. If you are watching this recording and you are watching it after the fact, you can find these resources like we showed before on the MACE website, and you can go ahead and do these on your own time. But thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to working with you this semester.